always just felt like I don't even know why I feel this way. I just feel like, yes, I could spend the rest of my life dying of my illness and being selfish, or I could just be honest and share what I've felt in this lifetime. And that's what the hell I'm trying to do. It scares me every day that I feel like the time and the effort that I put into me sharing my journey with having illness as young as I have doesn't feel like my own purpose. It feels like a bigger purpose. So scary to be as public about it. It's the one thing that I probably have the hardest time talking about because I just don't know what to say. I'm at a place where I'm like, it's time to just be as freeform as possible. And that has to do with comedy, and that has to do with my life and the stories that have happened. And I hope that the gut that I feel is so sincere brings me to the right place and the right people respect me. I'm at that place. And I also think I am at a place in my life where this is completely natural. I have handled getting to this point in my life, and it's so hard to share all that because it's like, is it even worth sharing? But the life was worth living. At the end of the day, we're all just fucking people. The nightmare that I live every single day. Do you get the point being I share it with the world? I am over the whole judgment reality. YouTube. I tend to have a lot of videos that are not up yet. Stay tuned for the videos that you haven't seen in the last couple days. Will definitely go up. Makes me want to get my own little freaking house, I don't know, in the middle of nowhere, and just focus on vlogs and getting better, starting treatment and growing. That really is what happens in my mind. And then I think there's no way in hell that I can maintain any of that. And then I also think I am at a place in my life where this is completely natural. I am 20 years old. I'm about to be 29. I'm about to be 20 fucking 9. I'm about to be 20 fucking 9. October the 6th. That's less than 2 months away, and I just don't know how to explain where it's like, when you've been sick for so long, time just is this fucking Tupperware of stuff. And how do you enjoy it even now? Like today, back pain, burning nerve pain, just nerve pain, like every fucking day. Oh, I'm trying to be positive. How do you be positive? How do you be positive when there really is nothing to be positive today about, other than I have food in my fridge, I have cannabis, I have support, my rent will be paid next month, I have coffee, I have real coffee. eBay is still helping me survive, and I have doctors who give a shit, and yet with anxiety I keep thinking, what the fuck? I want to be okay. I don't want to be this way. I hate being this way. I've been on Lexapro for now about 3 weeks. I think about a month now. And I will say that I feel a lot less panicky, but I just don't know where the fuck this thought process comes from, because I don't like being this way. I don't like being panicky. Nobody should like that. Nobody should be focused on that. So, like I just said at the beginning of this video, being with anxiety, I have these thoughts where I'm like, okay, just dye your hair, maybe you'll feel better about who you are, or do something, you know? That's how anxiety rules my fucking world. And then the pain comes back, it creeps back up, and I go, okay, what the fuck do I do? It's a circle, it's just a circle. I don't know. You know, I guess the one thing I can say about this channel and who I am as a person is I am trying to give whatever little bit I have left to whatever else is out there that I feel in my gut deserves to hear my voice. And at the end of the day, I will know that I have been committed by being completely transparent towards the world and who I am, what I've tried to do in my life. And I almost feel like antidepressants, to be perfectly blunt with you people out there, for me, have been the thing that has held me back from doing anything that would be completely out of the norm for me. Meaning, when you get to such a low place, sometimes there's something that needs to pull you back, and I wasn't able to pull myself back. And to be honest with you guys, I still feel like there's so much stress in my brain that learning how to ground myself is exactly why I'm here on YouTube, because it's so, how do I put this? I didn't even know there was a community out there who understood the way I felt. If it was social anxiety, or if it was anxiety, or if it was depression, or any mental illness at all, if it was pain that was related, that gave you the anxiety, that gave you the depression, that gave you the hell you're living now. At the end of the day, we're all just fucking people, and this whole nightmare that I live every single day and I share with the world, I am over the whole judgment reality. I'm more in a place now where it's like, how the hell do you be okay with the fact that nothing's gonna be okay? How the hell do you move on in your life and figure out how to have some kind of simplicity, yet there's no simplicity that could ever exist in a world that's this complex? It's a really hard thing to be in a body that you don't want to be in, and yet it's such a hard thing because you want to fight the whole reality that is what it is. And I just don't feel like people take it seriously, that people who are sick are really just trying to still be heard as people. And so leading by example in all of this is why I do these fucking vlogs. So it's just frustrating because I am trying to figure it out and documenting it along the way. I put myself out there to the point that judgment is at this place where I am over anybody's opinion. I know better. Unfortunately, I'm at a place where I'm trying to understand the very basis of who I am. And what's frustrating me is that there's not a whole lot I can do other than medicate and deal. Medicate and deal. It's like being a painter with so much paint and not having enough canvas to put it on. I don't know. I'm at a place where I'm trying to understand the very depths of why I'm here, because I'm finally at a place where I can be in the skin that I'm in and deal with the problems that I have and have the respect that I need. And thus forward, it doesn't change the very skin that I have, the very canvas I'm living in, if you get metaphorically the whole concept. So, even down to the depths of Robin Williams passing away, has made me actually want to go into a depth of myself that I didn't think I'd ever share. And that has to do with comedy, and that has to do with my life and the stories that have happened to me, and the way that I have handled getting to this point in my life. And it's so hard to share all that because it's like, is it even worth sharing? But the life was worth living? Do you get the point, people? So I'm at a place where I'm like, it's time to just be as free-form as possible, and I hope that the gut that I feel is so sincere brings me to the right place and the right people respect me. I'm at that place, so I'm trying really hard to even edit this video and many others in the future, so you guys actually get it. You know, you feel it, you see it, you can laugh, cry, and feel it all. So I am going to start making videos where they're about stories, or actually about things that I've actually experienced. You might see depths of me as a child, you might see real videos of my brother, the people I love in my life. Those people in my life that I love, they're in my life still because they respect the person I've had to be developing to be. I've had to fight to get the respect that I'm at this point in my life. I don't want to be in almost feel like the platform here on YouTube is huge because of the very fact that even though I'm sick, I'm not. How do I put it? I have so much I want to share, and I'm at a place in my life where I don't have any children, and I don't have any person that I want to share that with specifically, and I feel good about that. I actually know that this is all going to lead up to something bigger. I hope it's supposed to lead up in a better place, but even when it comes to the future that I'm living, where I'm going to be living, who's going to be in my life in the future, it's a little bit scary because it's a public forum. I'm sitting here being as honest as possible. There's a date on the screen for a reason. I mean, the point of it is I'm trying to document my entire journey with dealing with my health. I've been as public as my own Facebook now, which is really scary. I mean, to be perfectly honest, it's like, am I living quietly to not disturb the others living chaotically? Or am I living to maybe create a life that I want to live, and I'm a terrified person to be in the skin that I'm in? I have no idea how much time I have, and the things that I have around me, and the things that I want to do in my life. I have so little to actually guarantee any of it. Neither do you, anybody else for that matter. So the death of Robin Williams and so much more, I think, like, I'm trying to make a life now for myself where I'm okay with who I am and what the hell is going on in my life, and I'm awake. I will say honestly that antidepressants have helped get to a point where I am a little bit more confident in what I want, a little bit less able to turn the thoughts off. My thoughts are loud. I don't want to be sedated mentally. I don't like the idea of even being high, so when I smoke, it's truly to calm my stomach down or to keep my nerves physically, the pain in my back, at bay. Disrespect of the fact that I am a cannabis user every single day, and it's very fucking disturbing. I mean, probably the most exciting parts are when I get responses to videos where they're completely new subscribers and you guys are just respectful. I mean, I guess that's the best thing I can say, that being public about all this has been a really good thing. But independently as a person, my life is damaged for all the health problems I have, so the internet is a beautiful thing for me. Very beautiful thing for me. But I feel like my life is at a turning point. Today I honestly feel like there's a huge turning point, because I just kind of feel like I'm at ease with a lot of my life, and I'm not at ease with a lot of my life. And when you're trying to share that on the internet, with a public forum and in your own self-awareness, so you can be real about it, and you don't even know where you want to put the next move in your life, that's where I'm at. I don't know what's up with these straps. So it's very difficult when you can't articulate, but you feel so strongly. My concrete decisions about continuing to vlog when everything is at a final point in my life where I feel like things are getting better, I have the right security. And even if everything fell through at this point, when it came to the health part, I would already know what to do next. I've been on such a journey for the last year, 2 years at this point, probably going on 3, that even any relationship that is in front of me, I feel like I would know not only what I want, but what I do not. Being vocal about it, and going out of my way to make these relationships happen are not even realistic probably for anyone else. At first, I felt really, 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 how do you put it? It's the least of my concerns. I don't want any relationship unless it's absolutely sincere. I was thinking about it the other day. I don't think I can ever be with somebody again who's an only child, because I think they don't understand what it is to actually give a shit about somebody else. There's such narcissism with an only child, and I don't mean that anything personally any females out there, because I think females handle it a lot different than males, but the psychology, I want my channel to have that. I want you guys to understand the depths of who I am. There's a lot to think about. And sometimes I don't even know how to articulate it correctly, if you get the point. There's an emotion there, and as I said again, finding grounding so that I am strong enough to articulate properly what is honestly going on mentally, emotionally. It's very difficult when there's so much going on with anxiety. I feel very strongly that unless you've experienced it personally, anxiety, depression, it's impossible to understand. It's like asking somebody to know how to write left-handed. You just, unless you do it, there's no way to understand it. There's no way to, how do I explain that? It probably doesn't even make sense at that point. Comprehending the fact that anxiety is something that is not the same for everybody, and when someone has it, it's almost impossible to explain other than it's chaotically a never-ending cycle of thoughts, just never turns off. And so when I am in my own space and not in an environment elsewhere, outside of my home, it's a lot easier for me to control my own environment, because then my pain is not absorbed by a public form. So having that reality that there's so much support in the center of my world, yeah, physically on the outer side, I wish so much that I could be doing more things. I don't know how my pain will ever be completely controlled. It's scary. And the fact of the matter is that I am going to be getting a nerve block next month, and I'm looking very much forward to that. But what if it doesn't work? What if I'm worse? What if I think of the what ifs, and that is strictly anxiety? And when I think of myself, like, well, what could I have ever done differently in my world to, what can I do even now differently in my world? I'm doing everything possible. And I look back at my, I don't know, it's like a constant struggle now to just have a normalcy. Eat, sleep, poop, communicate socially, have some stability, be able to pay my own bills. So part of wanting to move is all these fucked up tickets. Having parking tickets after parking tickets after bullshit parking tickets makes me want to move. It really does. So I started looking into some places in even Palm Springs, moving to the desert, and I'm just not at that place in my world where I think it's a good idea, because frankly, like I said at the beginning of this video, it's a lot of fucking cleaning. So when you deal with anxiety and you're trying to just have some normalcy, there's a level of understanding what is going to be comfortable, what is going to be annoying, a new problem in your world. I don't need to move, spend a whole bunch of money, and not be happy. That's why in my own home, I've been on this eBay kick for so long, trying to get rid of so much stuff, because frankly, I don't want it anymore. But just throwing it away makes no sense to me, because I can control where it's going. It's getting the fuck out of my world. I recently spoke to a guy. Here's an example of story time Saturday or Sunday. I recently met a guy who was awesome. He seemed really down to earth. He seemed really like we'd have a lot in common. In fact, we did. Then I met him, and unfortunately it was not what I thought. He was a nice person, yet there was just no real connection. And then I saw it in my face. I saw the realization that he was such an awesome guy, but unfortunately I need to stay the hell away from him because he had a child. And I thought, oh Jesus, why? Why would I commit myself to a situation where unfortunately I would support anybody, and yet I wouldn't support myself? I'd put myself back in another situation where I become that woman who becomes so dependent on helping somebody else, and yet so dependent on someone actually being consistent, that I just realized I need to be single. I can't be in a relationship with anybody who has other things he should be maintaining instead of trying to start a new relationship, because Rachel needs to do what's best for her, which means take care of her and find some kind of livelihood in my reality instead of trying to start new realities. And I have become public with some people I recently met that they actually know that I am a YouTuber. They know about my health problems, they know of all that, and it went nowhere because the reality is I should stay single. You know, I have to be myself. I have to, learn how to fall in love with myself instead of learn how to fall in love with other people. I need to, show some compassion to the reality that I am sick, and I need to, just do it. Be as creative as possible and try new things and share that and walk through that. Right now, that's what I'm trying to do. So, be your own kind of beautiful instead of trying to find that kind of beautiful. And I hope, to be honest, that me sharing all of that here on this public forum can make a lot more sense than me just doing it. I'd rather always be transparent about what's going on in the mind of Miss Chronicles. That is the point. But like I said, once again, I will start sharing things in my past. Not putting anybody down, but sharing the philosophy of why maybe those choices in my life. Here we go. Does this touch any of you listening? That's the point. I want to touch in the right ways. It's not about numbers, it's about real. So, every single one of you who have subscribed, I have not pushed the label. I have just asked for the right people to find me. So hopefully you guys who are watching understand that I'm being sincere, and I hope that transparency hits you hard, because that's what it is. If you are dealing with any of the things I talk about or have tagged in this video, I welcome comments. I welcome them. If you're negative, I block you right away. I have no problem. I'm getting very thick skin and I love it. I have no problem blocking negativity. Unfortunately, the problem with that wonderful person that I had said I met recently is I had no way to be negative towards this person. He was a nice person. There's nothing negative I could say. It just wouldn't have worked, and it wasn't right for me to continue this. I couldn't do it. I couldn't even say a negative thing to the person because he wasn't a bad person. It was just not a good situation for either of us. And I made it very clear your life needs to continue, thus is mine. That means move forward. Unfortunately, we're just not meant to be. And I guess being a YouTuber, I need to focus on that. I need to focus on being as transparent as I can and not look for relationships and not look for that. Look for the right people to stay in my life and the negative people to find their exit. Unsubscribe. Block me. I'll block you. We'll block each other. We can do that. So, I don't want my channel to be like other YouTubers. That's the other thing I've realized with 2 years under my belt and 7 years back of starting YouTubes, which you guys will eventually see the ginormous eyebrows in me at 19. Actually, I was like 22, maybe 21. Maybe I was 20. I think I was 20. I was very young. So, like 8 years ago now. Oh my god. Anyway, so, yeah, it was 2006. What am I thinking? It was 8 years ago. Yeah. But then I realized almost on a daily basis, the fact of the matter is, I was one of those kids who had a tape recorder or anything technology-wise I could make things with. This is just what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to create. But when it comes to being a person with anxiety and having all these problems and creating and just doing it, it's scary. It's very fucking scary. And recently, seeing that Robin Williams had passed away, I've actually come to a conclusion that he is the most scared person when he was creating, but he's the most open, because just like me, when I recently saw one of his videos, I'll put some links below this video of his great speeches and interviews, and thus forward, you'll see it. Comedy sketches, I needed it. He's like my therapy, and now I feel like he's my angel in heaven, making my mom laugh. My grandma. My great-grandma. My uncle. I visualize my mom, Robin Williams, and my uncle all sitting around a campfire in my brain, smoking a joint, handing it to one another. I know that sounds funny, but that's the funniness. I have a hippie family, and Robin Williams, he's just a nut. And my mom, I was raised on Robin Williams. He was my medication when I was the sickest with hepatitis C, when I was 8 years old, doing treatment. I remember watching in the late 90s. It's just like, recently that's how I feel. I am not the only one, but having this much anxiety is so scary to be as public about it. It's the one thing that I probably have the hardest time talking about, because I just don't know what to say. How do you say you feel nutty, and yet you don't know why? He inspires me to go to a level that I've always wanted to, yet my anxiety has held me back. How do you say you feel nutty? And as I reflect back on who, I've become, and where it's come from, what influences and who, I know that the way that I speak, that comedy I am, it is just my blood. I am just this person. I am who I am for all the mixture of silliness that comes forward. I can laugh and you can judge. Go ahead and comment below. You can even down the video. You're good at that, people. Whoa, you're doing your job. The reality is, it's like, are you kidding me? Anyway, it just felt like, I don't even know why I feel this way. I just feel like, yes, I could spend the rest of my life dying of my illness and being selfish, or I could just be honest and share what I've felt in this lifetime, and that's what the hell I'm trying to do. It scares me every day that I feel like the time and the effort that I put into me sharing my journey with having illness as young as I have doesn't feel like my own purpose. It feels like a bigger purpose. How do you express that? Well, this is the beautiful format. This YouTube platform is the beautiful format that I use to express myself. You guys are my canvas to express myself. You sharing what your own experiences are have brought me so much happiness in my life. You know who you are. I can at least be me. I can express me. I'm not on stage. Apparently I'm in this box,